Hey everyone, Patricia here from Old School Lane and Manic Expression. Well, as you know, last night was the 2013 Kids' Choice Awards. They gave out the blimps to the winners, and they had their singing, they had their copious amounts of slime, and blah blah blah. You know what, let's just cut the crap and let's just announce the winners. The first one that was discussed was Favorite TV Show. And the nominees were Good Luck Charlie, iCarly, Victorious, and Wizards of Waverly Place. Kevin and I predicted that the winner was going to be iCarly, but the winner was Victorious. Now, that was going to be our second choice, because Victorious has also ended, but it ended in a different way than iCarly. iCarly ended with the final episode, while Victorious was just cancelled. I guess this was just a cry to the fans saying that they really love Victorious that much, in which it can be able to end in a final note. So, yeah, not really much to say about that. So let's get to the next one. The next nominee was Favorite Reality Show, and the nominees were America's Got Talent, The Voice, American Idol, and Wipeout. Kevin and I predicted that America's Got Talent was going to win, but we were once again wrong. The winner happened to have been Wipeout. Yeah. A game show won for Favorite Reality Show. Those reality shows must have sucked so hard that kids were willing to choose a game show for it to win. Man, your nominations suck, Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice Awards. Alright, next one. Favorite cartoon. Oh, trust me, if you do not even know who the winner is going to be, I swear, you have got to crawl out of the rock that you've been hiding in for the last 9 years. Okay, the nominations were SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, Phineas and Ferb, and Tom and Jerry. Alright, say it with me on the count of 3 of who won. 1, 2, 3. SpongeBob SquarePants. Of course he won! Of course he was going to win for Best Cartoon. This is Nickelodeon, and as I mentioned before, SpongeBob is Nickelodeon's final life support in order for this network to sustain itself. Alright, moving on. Okay, the next one was Favorite TV Actor. And the nominations were Jake T. Austin from Wizards of Waverly Place, Lucas Cruikshank from The Fred Show and Marvin, Ross Lynch from Austin and Ally, and Carlos Pena from Big Time Rush. Now, we both predicted that Lucas Cruikshank was going to win because, let's be honest, he was the only one from Nickelodeon that we knew who was popular. I've seen Carlos Pena in Big Time Rush, and to tell you the truth, I'm not really impressed. And, once again, we were wrong. The winner was Ross Lynch from Austin and Ally. I've seen him, and I don't know, they're just pretty much all the same to me. They're just portrayed as these really stereotypical teenagers who just act so unrealistic and idiotic. Well, Lucas Cruikshank acts twice as worse than they do, but you know, that's his character, so moving on. Alright, so favorite TV actress. It's Miranda Cosgrove, Selena Gomez, Victoria Justice, and Bridget Mendler. Now, Kevin and I, we both predicted that Victoria Justice was going to win, and from the looks of it, we were wrong. It was actually Selena Gomez who won. To tell you the truth, I was surprised that Selena Gomez was even nominated. Wizards of Waverly Place has been out of the air for over a year now, and yet at the same time she won. Well, I think it may have something to do with that Wizard of Waverly Place movie that happened a while back, so maybe that's the reason why she was nominated. I think the reason why she's nominated is because she's still relevant to kids. And even if your show has been canceled for that long, Nickelodeon just won't do anything that's called variety. Alright, so the next one was Favorite Male Athlete. And the nominations were LeBron James, Michael Phelps, Tim Tebow, and Shaun White. Now, I wanted Michael Phelps to win, but I predicted that Shaun White was going to win, and Kevin thought that LeBron James was going to win. Well, Kevin was right. LeBron James is the winner. You know, I'm kind of disappointed. I really thought that Michael Phelps was going to win, but apparently, you know, kids just really love basketball, and LeBron James is the only one that's been doing really, really well when it comes to it. I mean, never mind that Michael Phelps is in the current world record of holding the most gold medals in an Olympic game, but still, LeBron James was going to be my second pick. After all, the Miami Heat is doing amazingly right now. They're currently on a winning streak. So, next one was Female Athlete, and the nominations were Gabby Douglas, Danica Patrick, Serena, and Venus Williams. I predicted that Gabby Douglas was going to win because of the whole Olympics, and Kevin predicted that Danica Patrick was going to win. And sure enough, Danica Patrick did win for that. I actually got a response on YouTube saying that kids do actually watch NASCAR, and that any kid who watches NASCAR will definitely vote for Danica Patrick. Well, to the person who gave me that comment on YouTube, I feel like an idiot right now. You're right. There are kids out there that do watch NASCAR, and for that, I apologize, and thank you for bringing that up. Okay, next one is favorite book series. And the nominations were Diary of a Wimpy Kid, the Harry Potter series, the Hunger Games, and the Magic Treehouse series. We predicted that Harry Potter was going to win, but it turned out that the Hunger Games was going to win. But then again, it's the more popular book series, so I'm not too surprised. Alright, so the next one. The next one was favorite app. Well, I didn't even actually notice this until the last minute when I posted my KCA predictions, so I'm sorry. The nominations were Angry Birds, Fruit Ninja, Minecraft, and Temple Run. I am so sorry that I didn't talk about this nomination, because this nomination actually had decent games. Unlike the Best Video Game Award, which we'll get to in a minute. I predicted that Temple Run was going to win, and sure enough, Temple Run did win. Temple Run is currently the most popular game that people are playing right now. Angry Birds is so 2008, so I didn't think that it was going to be that relevant. Although, recently there was an Angry Birds Star Wars game, which would be nice and relevant for the new Star Wars movie coming up. Okay, the next one was favorite movie. And the nominations were The Amazing Spider-Man, The Avengers, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Dog Days, and The Hunger Games. And sure enough, the favorite movie was The Hunger Games. Now, the movie was okay. As you recall in Something Cinematic, reviewing of The Hunger Games with Tim Deanna, it was a really good movie, and it did stick close to the book, but there were a couple of flaws to it. One of them being the shaky camera. It kind of made us both a little bit nauseous. Other than that, it was a pretty decent movie. Kevin and I were really hoping that The Avengers would have won. The Avengers was the most popular movie that came out. Almost everybody I knew was watching it. In fact, going back to Something Cinematic again, that was the movie that everybody on the site chose as the movie of the year. Well, then again, Argo wasn't nominated, so, just letting you know. Alright, so moving on. Now we get to the Video Game Awards, and the nominations were Just Dance 4, Mario Kart 7, Skylanders Giants, and Wii Sports. I predicted that Just Dance 4 was going to win because it was the more relevant game, and I was right. Okay, now we finally get into animated movie, and the nominations were Brave, Ice Age Continental Drift, Madagascar 3, and Wreck-It Ralph. And sure enough, Wreck-It Ralph won. Wow. Congratulations, Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards. At least opposed to the Oscars in which they chose Brave, you actually chose the better movie. The reason why is because kids liked Wreck-It Ralph a million times better than Brave. For the third time, I've talked about this movie in Something Cinematic with Tim Deanna about how I did like the movie. It was pretty decent, but as for Pixar standards, it was hugely disappointing. Alright, now we get into favorite movie actor. And the nominations were Johnny Depp, Andrew Garfield, Zachary Gordon, and Will Smith. I predicted that Andrew Garfield was going to win because he was the new Spider-Man, but apparently Johnny Depp won. Yeah, Johnny Depp won for Dark Shadows. I have no comment. But if you think that was awkward, the next one is even worse. Favorite movie actress. The nominations are Vanessa Hudgens, Scarlett Johansson, Jennifer Lawrence, and Kristen Stewart. I predicted that Jennifer Lawrence was going to win, but I wanted Scarlett Johansson to win. But guess who won? Kristen Stewart won. Kristen Stewart won. Let that sink into you for 1 minute. Kristen Stewart, one of the most blandest, most boring actresses in recent memory, the person who played the abomination that was Bella Swan, won for Best Movie Actress. Wow. I'm just speechless. I'm really just speechless. Well, apparently kids just enjoy watching pieces of paper act in front of sparkly fairies, as Gurning Chimp says. Alright, moving on, because I'm about to pop a gasket. Okay, so next one is favorite voice from animated movie. And it was Chris Rock from Madagascar 3, Adam Sandler from Hotel Transylvania, Ben Stiller from Madagascar 3, and Taylor Swift from The Lorax. I wanted Chris Rock to win, but I predicted that Adam Sandler was going to win. And sure enough, I was right. Adam Sandler won for Hotel Transylvania. He did a pretty decent job, but I could still tell that he was Adam Sandler. But then again, for the majority of the time, I could tell that those were the actors portraying as those characters. So, as for that, I mean, Hotel Transylvania was a pretty decent movie. I really liked Madagascar 3. It was definitely the best in the trilogy. The Lorax, on the other hand, is god-awful. And Elimination Entertainment, you may be a brand new company, but you're starting off really shitty by doing your second movie as the Lorax. Well, I'm just hoping that maybe Despicable Me 2 will pick it up, but then again, that is a pretty worthless sequel to start with anyway. The movie ended just fine in the first one. Anyway, let's get into favorite female butt kicker. And the nominations were Anne Hathaway from The Dark Knight Rises, Scarlett Johansson from The Avengers, Jennifer Lawrence from The Hunger Games, and Kristen Stewart from Snow White and the Huntsman. I predicted that Jennifer Lawrence was going to win, but I really wanted Scarlett Johansson to win, and guess who won? Kristen Stewart. Again? You chose Kristen Stewart as favorite female butt kicker? Really? That movie, Snow White and the Huntsman, was just pure shit. All the other 3 movies were actually pretty decent. Sure, the guys at Comic Book Cast cannot stand The Dark Knight Rises, but I would watch that over Snow White and the Huntsman any day. Alright, moving on. Alright, the next one is favorite male butt kicker. And the nominations were Robert Downey Jr. from The Avengers, Andrew Garfield from The Amazing Spider-Man, Chris Hemsworth from The Avengers, and Dwayne Johnson from, once again, that stupid Journey Towards the Island movie, whatever. I still don't even remember the title. It's just that forgettable. Well, I predicted that Andrew Garfield was going to win, but I really wanted Robert Downey Jr. to win. And guess who won? That's right, the actor who kicked the least butt, Dwayne Johnson. He didn't even kick butt in that movie. All he did was just punch a CGI lizard. He was exploring, he was solving puzzles with his stepson, and he wasn't doing any butt kicking. The last time that I saw Dwayne Johnson do any butt kicking was when he was The Rock in wrestling. Alright, next one. Favorite villain. Okay, so we have Reed Alexander from iCarly, Simon Cowell from The X Factor, Tom Hiddleston from The Avengers, and Julia Roberts from Mirror Mirror. I wanted Tom Hiddleston to play The Avengers because he was actually the best villain out of the category. You know, to tell you the truth, 2 out of the 4 weren't even villains. One of them is a prick, and the other one is just a jerk. And to tell you the truth, guess who won? That's right, the jerk. Simon Cowell won for Best Villain. Yeah. Simon Cowell is not a villain. He's not a villain. He's a judge. He's just doing his job. He tells really bad singers that they suck. That doesn't qualify as a villain. He's telling the truth. Would you rather hear somebody who sings really bad go into the finals? Well, to tell you the truth, if that were to happen, then most likely the reputation of music will be down the toilet, and it's already deep down there as it is, which we're about to get to right now. Favorite music group. Okay, well, the nominations were Big Time Rush, Bon Jovi, Maroon 5, and One Direction. Guess what won? Well, I predicted that Big Time Rush was going to win because it was based on a Nickelodeon show, but guess what? Big Time Rush did so bad that they didn't even win. It was One Direction. Yeah. The current Backstreet Boys of this generation won for favorite music group. Yeah, well, technically I'm not surprised. Now time for favorite male singer. And the nominations are Justin Bieber, Bruno Mars, Blake Shelton, and Usher. Yeah, you already know who won. Of course you did. It's the same person who won last year. Justin Bieber won. I doubted that any of these other nominees were even going to get close to Justin Bieber. He recently released some album, and it hit #1 on the charts. Bruno Mars, he hasn't released anything in a while. I doubt anybody knows who Blake Shelton is. They only know him from The Voice, and even if they don't, kids rarely listen to country music. And as for Usher, once again, he hasn't released anything in a while. Okay, next one. Favorite female singer. The nominees were Adele, Katy Perry, Pink, or Taylor Swift. 2 out of the 4 nominees I actually liked. I love Adele, and I really like Pink. Katy Perry and Taylor Swift I didn't like. So who won? Katy Perry. Katy Perry. Apparently, the same woman who got a freaking Oscar for Best Original Song in the Skyfall movie wasn't even worthy enough to win a blimp for Nickelodeon. But Katy Perry is. Okay, I got one more, and then afterwards I'm done. Favorite song? Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen, Gangnam Style by Psy, We Are Never Getting Together Again by Taylor Swift, and What Makes You Beautiful by One Direction. Yeah, you already know who won this one. What Makes You Beautiful by One Direction won. No duh. Of course they were going to win. Like I said, Gangnam Style is already been out of people's minds. Right now, people are going crazy for Harlem Shake. My cousin even did a music video of Harlem Shake just a few weeks ago. It is that relevant now, and probably in a few months from now, that'll be probably out of relevance as well. We're Never Getting Together Again. Once again, it's just the same old Taylor Swift song like, oh, a guy has broke up with me, so I'm gonna write a song about it. Yeah, baby. I don't know what it is. And Call Me Maybe, that's more for teenagers, not for kids, so yeah, you only had one choice. And that was the 2013 Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards winners. I hope you enjoyed it, and to tell you the truth, I am never going to watch another Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards again. I only did it because of the Nickelodeon tribute, which, by the way, we're almost done with. Currently, we're in the year 2003, and the first show that we're going to be reviewing for that is All Grown Up. You can catch that in the blog oldschoollane.blogspot.com real soon, or in manic-expression.com. Until then, I've been Patricia from Old School Lane. I hope to see you soon. I'm gonna go off and pound my head against a wall. So, thanks for listening.